Thank you, Mary. Um, Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be here tonight. I've known Bill and Sue Butler and Oakley and Ava Ferris for many years and watched with marvel their commitment to their preferred causes, and especially to Northern Kentucky. But before I get to my real job here, which is to introduce my good friend Oakley Ferris, I want to issue a small call to action. This is, as others have said, the first time in 18 years that these awards have not been held without their namesake, Bishop William Hughes. And although I did not meet him, I've never met him, apparently he was a holy giant among us, and his accomplishments are commensurate with that stature. But as many giants, he was also a man. And as some may know, his preferred beverage on a celebratory occasion was Dewar's Scotch. So for the Scotch drinkers in the room, I point out that the bar is still open and that in his honor, there are 2 bottles of Dewar's on hand, so if he were here, he'd probably say to you, drink up. Now to toast my friend Oakley and Ava, who could not be here tonight. I don't remember quite when we met, but I do recall who introduced us. A number of years ago, I gave a commitment to restoring the wonderful Andrew Carnegie Library on Scott Street. As you may know, Andrew Carnegie made a vast fortune, and by the end of his life had given more than 90% of it away to create some 2,800 magnificent libraries all across the United States. Libraries. Because Carnegie was entirely self-educated, a poor boy who made good. He didn't have access to the marvelous resources like Thomas More. But he found books and read voraciously throughout his life, which gave him a profound commitment to education and especially to making books widely available. Our area is blessed to have several of his libraries, with one of the most beautiful in Covington. But when I became involved, that beauty was pretty much obscured by decay. My dream was to restore it, but it was well beyond my personal capacity, and I really needed some help. One day, then Governor Paul Patton suggested he knew someone with a deep and passionate commitment to Carnegie, Northern Kentucky, and like Carnegie, to education. Someone who might pitch in. He introduced me to Oakley. Then the hijinks began. Oakley and Ava became the Carnegie's most committed supporters. Not only did they give with emotional and exceptional generosity, but Oakley, and understanding how shy and retiring he is, as you will find out in a moment, and I know that he personally buttonholed several people probably in this room to give. The Carnegie today, with its wonderful Eva G. Ferris Education Center, is the result of those labors, and the beneficiaries are thousands of children who participate each year in the center's programs, getting an invaluable introduction to a wider world. I am indeed sorry that Ava's not here tonight, and I know we wish her loving wishes and a speedy recovery, because she is Oakley's North Star, the light by which he guides his entire life. And what a life it's been. Is there anyone here who doesn't have an Oakley story about his making a living as a traveling salesman selling needles and pins? Think about that. Needles and pins. How could a man possibly make a living selling these miniature items? Yet Oakley did, and a very good one. It's about some of the deals he's done. Maybe that significant piece of downtown property he bought years ago for $500. About his tireless negotiations on behalf of causes he believes in. Oakley saved us untold dollars on the renovation of the Carnegie because of his determination that we were going to have a better than best price, which he then got for us. People sometimes talk about those who know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Not Oakley. He certainly knows the price of everything. Everything. But his values are exceptional, and he brings them to everything he does. He leaves nothing on the table, but also leaves behind only good feelings. The man is a masterful student of human nature in a way that all great salesmen and Oakley can always figure out how to make the deal win-win. But then he asks only that Eva be recognized, that their joint contributions bear only her name. And I might editorialize here for a moment that I have never, and never is an absolute word, I have never in my life known someone who is that selfless, that giving, and Oakley is the man. There's so many lovely things in existence because Oakley saw a need or an opportunity and then figured out how to make it happen. Bronze statues of our heroes, heroes to all of us, lovely paintings on flood walls, scholarships, galleries. Time allowed, I could go on and on. I don't know if I have adequately conveyed to you here, but I really like this guy. So back where I began. Toward the end of his life, Andrew Carnegie said, "As I grow older, I pay less attention to what men say and just watch what they do." Ladies and gentlemen, the man Andrew Carnegie surely had in mind is Oakley Ferris.
Thank God I can't see very many of you because of this light. I never have notes, but on this occasion I was compelled to make a few notes because, am I coming through? I was told to take only 3 minutes and not to embarrass anybody. I don't quite understand the word politically correct speech, but that's what I was asked to give tonight. Now, just bear with me, please. I'm looking at myself. I look pretty distinguished. I really do. My wife and I are really deeply honored for this award tonight. I can understand why my wife was chosen. She's been a lifelong Catholic from her birth. Me, I'm a lukewarm Baptist and a half Jew. You know, we're here tonight not because of Bill Butler and his wife, or Oakley Ferris and my wife. We're really here to honor Bishop Hughes. That's what this is all about, really. The bishop and I were neighbors for years. He lived 3 doors down from us. This is getting really dicey, what I'm going to say now, but it's true. One day, I was waiting on the bus. He picked me up, smiled. I jumped in his car. And I was just getting, this was in my mind now, just getting ready to say, "Is there any charge for this trip?" I neglected to say that when I entered that front seat, it dawned on me we were both psychic. I could sense he was getting ready to say something to me. Keep in mind, this was all in my mind, what I said about. He said, "Oakley, we do not charge for our competitors' service rendered." For years, he would pick me up occasionally. We never said one word, but we each knew what the other was thinking. I told you this is over the top, but it's the truth. Now, I feel obligated to say something about Otto Budig. As long as I've known that guy, I have never heard him say a bad word. Well, we had hot and cold relationships. And this particular time, it's at a cool, and I was going to call him for lunch. But he called me. Where do you want to have lunch? I said, Otto, inasmuch as you are a member of the Metropolitan Club and I'm not, let's eat there. Now, Otto, I know how we can get back on track. Are you familiar with those murals on the river flood wall? No. I said, Otto, if you buy one of those murals, we're right back on track. How much are they? I said, $35,000. He pointed his finger at me and he said some bad words. You're trying to blackmail me. And I said, yes, sir. When you go down to the flood wall, see that beautiful mural, Otto Budig. That's it. Well, folks, I think I ran over my 2 minutes. But Eva and I each thank you so much. This is a wonderful school. Honest to God, it's a great school. And our educational system is lacking in Northern Kentucky. I know some of the educators are here tonight, but they can do a better job. That goes for this school, NKU, and our Covington Independent School District. Somehow, these teachers got to light a fire under these students to inspire them. The same thing with the teachers. The students got to inspire the teachers. That's all I've got to say.